Whilst filming at the Junior World Pétanque Championships in Santa Susana last week, I noticed the Thais and the Malaysians and the Madagascans, they've got a particular technique that I really don't think anyone is discussing. A lot of people, they take a little joke, Franc Polo, for example. People say, look, why are they holding their hand like that? Why are they looking at their hand? Why are these Thais doing this? Why are they not just throwing the ball? Well, this is a technique that I've come up with a phrase called locked and loaded. So if you've got a gun, not that I'm advocating guns, but if you've got a gun and you click it back, locked, loaded, ready to fire, boom, off it goes. This actually is what the Thais are doing. What they're doing is they've got their hand, they've got their arm, nice and straight. Here we go. They're actually looking and they're holding themselves. They're putting the ball in the hand. They're looking and staring with intent at their fingers. Are their fingers in the right position? Is their thumb in the right position? They're addressing the ball in their hand. Is there tension in the wrist? Can they see these things? This is the first part of the locking mechanism. You're putting the actual gun in your hand. That's the addressing of the ball. That's the first thing. The next thing, and this is the most important thing for me, they have their hand, they have their wrist, and their wrists can be really wrapped like this, or they can be just slightly wrapped like this, or they can be straight. These are dependent on the individual player. But the most important thing is, when they lock their wrist in, that's it. That wrist stays exactly the same for every single movement coming right the way back, whether it's a short backswing, whether it's a longer backswing, whether they're leaning forward, whether they're coming through, the wrist stays exactly the same. That's a locked position within the actual wrist itself. Now, they've developed that through a ton of trial and error. What suits them? They will do this through repetition of the same position again and again and again. How does it feel comfortable? How does it feel in the hand? How does it feel in the wrist? They're not focusing on the outcome. They're focusing on the perfect position for them, for their particular wrist, for their particular hand, for their particular flexibility. And you'll see them doing lots of exercises. Lots and lots of exercises, twisting of the hand, improving suppleness. They're doing all these warm-ups before the game. So now they're locked. Here we go. Locked ball, staring at it, addressing it. Is my hand in the right position? Is everything good? They come back into their particular backswing, whatever that backswing is. Then they're coming through locked and loaded. After it's locked and loaded, then you get the release. This is where, in my next video, which you'll see at the end of this, the science of ball release technique, I'll go into an awful lot more detail. But basically, they're releasing the ball in the perfect way. It's coming out of the hand. The hand is releasing just like this. It's a caress. The last second, the fingertips are just releasing that ball, and the ball comes through the air and bang, straight onto the object ball. Now, the next most beautiful and most poetic part, and it is really quite a delight to view, is that they're throwing with no force. There is no stress in the hand. There's no determination to obliterate the ball. The ball just comes through. The release is perfect. It comes through the air, and literally in a lob, in a semi-plombé, and it lands on the object ball. That gets displaced. Theirs stays around. It's quite a delight to see this particular style, this particular gesture, because all they're doing is 6 meters, 10 meters makes no difference. It's exactly the same gesture. It's exactly the same style. It's exactly the same release. Now, this can only be honed through trial and error, trust in their own ability. They're doing an awful lot of empty hand practice where they are, and I have talked about this for years, empty hand practice where there is no objective. There's no ball in your hand. There's no reason to do anything other than just repeat a particular technique again and again. But what they're doing is, I watched them earlier on one particular video, they're looking at the ball, they're bringing their arm back really slowly, coming through really slowly. This gives them the chance to say to themselves, did I let that go perfectly? Was my wrist in the perfect position? Did I let it go slightly like that? Did I let it go slightly like that? Was I a little bit too tight? Was I trying to crush the ball? These are all little different things that the Thais and the Malaysians and the Madagascans have got honed to a fine art. They're not necessarily worried about how amazing they look. People say, look at that beautiful gesture. No, they've put it down into a very simplistic thing. Lock, load, keep that load, keep that lock, bring the arm back, perfect pendulum, straight arm, the majority of them, straight arm, bringing the arm back, bringing the arm through, straight line, release the ball. Where's the complication in that? There isn't any. This is the beauty of the lock and the load and the Thai and the Malagash and the Malaysian style of shooting. This is honed from Claude Roulet, gentleman who has done the CIEP training course. He teaches this particular method and he's putting it all around the world. You can join in one of Claude's courses. I'll put the link in the description. You can mention that you saw it here on Pétanque Coach, or you can continue to watch videos like this one and learn an awful lot more.